Welcome to Something to Wrestle With.
Something to wrestle with.
Bruce Prichard. Well, you know.
That's not a rib.
She pooed it.
Yeah, it's an interesting deal here because it feels like there's a lot of blame to pass around here. A lot of people over the years have accused Triple H of purposely burying Scott Steiner in this match. And they say that this match pretty much killed Steiner right away and he never really recovered. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't think he ever did. I think that it was the first big major taste. You know, you go from the Survivor Series with him suplexing Matt and Nowinski all over the place to this, and the cliche of, and then the bell rang true here.
There's a lot of botched spots here for Steiner, including one time when he does a move to Triple H and he falls over. The fans start booing all these botches. Do you think Vince had buyer's remorse during this match?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think that he looked at it and felt that he felt he was sold a different athlete than what he got. And he started thinking that there was maybe something more underneath the surface that we didn't know. And that Scott was telling us that his foot was better than it was and his back was better than it was. So you go with what you're being told. And I think deep down inside, we really wanted this. We wanted him. We needed him. We needed another big baby face. And it's like, shit, it's not there.
When the guys come back through the curtain, what's Vince saying to them?
Get in shape. God damn, pal. Yeah, get in shape. And are you okay? Because there was real concern here for his well-being, man. If you're not good and you're really nursing an injury and there's something else wrong, let's get it fixed. And that was his concern. So is it a matter of, are you not shaking all the ring rust off yet? Or is this, do we need more time to get in shape, or is there an injury I need to know about?
Were you watching this in Gorilla with Vince?
I don't know if Vince was there, but I watched it in Gorilla. Yeah.
What's a guy like The Undertaker saying about this match?
I think all the top guys that are hoping that Scott's going to come in and be able to do something are saying, damn, he's not ready.
It won the Observer's worst match that year. And Scott says soon after this match, WWE asked him to take a steroid test. And he said he'd be happy to, just as long as Triple H comes and pick him up in the limo and they'll go do it together. Of course, that didn't happen. Do you know if there's any truth to that?
I've never heard that.
You've never heard him say that, or you didn't know that you guys asked him to test after this?
I don't know if they asked him to test, and I never heard him say they go in limo together or anything like that.
It's a hell of a line though, is it not?
Oh, I love it.
One of the questions I've had here is when I hear about a guy being tested like this, like we've heard through the years on the WCW side that they signed Ray Traylor to a bigger contract than they really should have. And they regretted it fairly quickly. It was one of those bar deals where somebody got a hold of Bischoff after he'd been drinking and he made some promises maybe he shouldn't have, but they're still honoring it. But the way they're trying to work around it is they test the ever loving shit out of Traylor, hoping they can pop him for something and therefore have an out for his contract. Do you remember Vince ever having buyer's remorse like that and saying, well, just test him because we know there's an out?
In later, at that time, no, we couldn't, because we had it was an independent test where it was administered by a third party. So we had no hand in the test by this point.
Well, hang on now. You said in later years there, so you started a story we need the finish of.
No, I'm saying that in later years, because of those kind of accusations and things like that, he completely removed himself from it. Whether people will always going to say that.
Okay. But did it happen back in the day then? Maybe it's not happening in this era, 80s, 90s.
Oh, as far as Vince thinking that there were drugs, yes, absolutely. If there was suspicion or there was reason for cause that they thought that somebody was on drugs, hell yeah, you test them. Definitely.
Scott's working a lot after this. On January 20th, he works with Batista and gets a win by DQ. He's teaming in Seoul with Kane to take on Triple H and Batista. He gets a win over Christian in Tokyo. And then on Raw, he gets a win over Chris Jericho to become the number one contender for the world title on February 3rd. I find that kind of interesting that he's still in number one contender matches. It feels like at this point, the contract and the reputation is what's warranting him there, maybe more so than performance, right?
We had a story arc planned out for him, and we had written out, well in advance for him to do this program with Triple H. And we were still trying to give him the benefit of the doubt and trying to, say, okay, man, let's get there. We're going to give you time. We're going to stick with this. So we stuck with it.
The Torch wrote, the only event that even fell into the same league of embarrassment as the anniversary special was Steiner's pathetic performance at the Royal Rumble. Actually, the officials who went to bat for Steiner may even be more embarrassed by his performance, since they ignored the general consensus in the business that Steiner is too banged up to be a main event full-time player. Since his embarrassing performance, Steiner has been cast as the whipping boy for Triple H's new faction, which would make one think WWE has learned its lesson. However, it looks as if WWE is going to look to milk its investment in Steiner for whatever it can by putting on another pay-per-view main event against Triple H this month. This gives Steiner and Triple H a chance to redeem themselves, but it also puts them in a position to have yet another embarrassing situation. And if they fail to redeem themselves, one can only assume that the heat won't fall on Hunter, which means Steiner's career as a main eventer could be very short-lived. Feels like a pretty fair assessment by Wade. Would you agree?
Unfortunately, I would agree. And, you always want to give talent the benefit of the doubt, because you always, at least from a creative standpoint, you say, okay, if we just give it a little bit more time, man, they're going to come around. And I do think, frankly, that the second outing was a lot better than the first. And by this time they'd had a chance to work together several times, but still Scott, unfortunately, was, probably a half step behind what he should have been.